Some breaking news right now. According to 7 News sources, 2 people have been shot along Memorial Drive right here in Cambridge. Sky 7 HD over the scene right now. It is a massive crime scene. It looks like multiple different crime scenes within this area here. This is right near Cambridge Memorial Drive, along the area also close to River Street. Now, the city of Cambridge just put out an alert saying that around 1:30, they got reports for 911 calls, reports of shots fired near Memorial Drive, near the intersection of River Street. They say this is an active scene, but no ongoing danger to the public. And as Sky 7 shows you what's going on here, this is a high-rise apartment building. There's 2 gas stations right here that are in this at this intersection here. And you can see here, state police has roped off the entire area right here. Once again, our 7 News sources are telling us that 2 people were shot here in the middle of the day here on Memorial Drive. You can imagine how terrifying this was for anyone who witnessed this, who might be driving by. You can see that's the gas station. You can see the crime scene tape up there. The entire area has been roped off, and investigators are really examining different crime scenes. We've seen many different evidence markers marking different scenes throughout this entire area here. It looked like a large crime scene. There's also multiple vehicles involved, we can tell here by Sky 7 HD. We're kind of keeping the camera a little far away because it is a kind of a tense scene. It's also a little bit of a bloody scene. Now, we don't want to zoom in and show too much, but you can still see here the situation is unfolding. Investigators are working hard. They're not running around. There's not an ongoing threat. This already happened. They're investigating right now. But if you're just watching 7 News right now, once again, 7 News sources telling us that 2 people were shot here in this area. Not sure the circumstances of what happened. We don't know their conditions at this point. We do know, though, there were 2 people shot here, according to our 7 News sources. And you can see here the large crime scene involved here. There's a mobile gas station right there, a Shell gas station right there. And you can see right there where the whole intersection has been blocked off. That's the high-rise apartment on the left there. And as Sky 7 zooms in here, you can see some of the vehicles involved right here where it's roped off in this general area here as they try to figure out exactly what happened during this brazen daylight shooting, according to our 7 News sources. Multiple jurisdictions involved here. Cambridge police, state police involved as well. They have closed the area off. And once again, the city of Cambridge putting on an alert here to all the residents that around 1:30, there were 911 calls, reports of shots fired on Memorial Drive near the intersection here of River Street. And they once again say this is an active scene, but not an ongoing danger to the public. But you can imagine how terrifying this is. If you're in the high-rise apartment building, you were driving by, you can see all the vehicles that are just kind of stopped here, trapped in this crime scene because of what's going on. A terrifying scene playing out here in Cambridge when shots rang out around 1:30 this afternoon. You can see here some of the investigators, circled up, meeting, talking about what may have happened here as they really work to figure out what is the next step here in figuring out exactly what's going on. You can see some of the evidence markers that we've seen there. Sky 7 is showing those. There's multiple spots of that where they've had evidence markers out. So it is a large crime scene. It's going to take a while to figure out exactly what happened. They're examining different aspects of it. You can imagine there's surveillance video from some of these businesses they're trying to get, and they're talking to witnesses, obviously. A lot of witnesses. You have people who are in the vehicles there driving by, witness probably what happened. You have people maybe pumping gas or in that gas station area there and saw what happened. And people maybe looking out the window there from the apartment complex there. It's a high-rise apartment complex there along River Street and the intersection here of Memorial Drive in Cambridge. You can see here they are really trying to figure out exactly what's next in this investigation. A terrifying scene. Once again, 7 News sources telling us here that 2 people were shot along Memorial Drive. We continue to monitor the situation here as Sky 7 shows just the large amount of police in this area. And we want to go right now to our 7 Steve Cooper. He was the first one to bring us this news. Coop, what's going on?
Yeah, Ryan. So basically that whole area around the scene is now shut down. State police actually handle that stretch of Memorial Drive, and Cambridge police are there as well. The original call was a report of an active shooter. And then subsequently after that, according to our sources, it appears there was a shooting. 2 people shot. There may have been other people injured as well. We do know that some of the victims have been taken to area hospitals at this hour. We don't know their conditions. And right now, it appears, and from Sky 7 HD, you can see the heavy police presence there, but it doesn't appear that police are looking for a suspect at this time. So whatever happened quickly, and now that area is sealed off. And one of the things happening is we're told that there are obviously a number of witnesses, and because they're considered fresh witnesses, police are trying to get to those witnesses and get their take on exactly what they saw just a short time ago out in that area of Memorial Drive, 808 Memorial Drive, not far from the DoubleTree Hotel, and of course that gas station there on Memorial Drive.
This was the middle of the day. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. People driving, people filling up their gas tanks, there may be going home to that apartment complex, to the hotel there. A brazen daylight shooting occurring right here on Memorial Drive.
Right, and also with that in mind, there are also surveillance cameras and security cameras from businesses in the area. They can be traffic cameras as well. So that's one of the things that police are quickly looking to review and to recover to determine specifically how this all went down and exactly what happened and if everyone is accounted for at this point. And right now, again, it doesn't appear that there's any sort of a manhunt going on. We do know that there were some transports to area hospitals for not just victims, but also people that are trying to process what they witnessed this afternoon, as you mentioned, in the middle of the day.
And obviously, this entire area is shut down, so it's impacting traffic. And it's going to be a mess in Cambridge here, Coop, trying to get anywhere in this area of Memorial Drive.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things I think that you're going to be noticing, especially, we're in the middle of the afternoon, but getting closer to the afternoon commute. And obviously, this is a crime scene now, and with ballistics involved and several agencies involved. And since it's just happening now, a lot of information is fluid right now. And I think that's one of the things that those agencies are trying to coordinate to make sure that they're all in sync with what's happened today.
15, if you're just joining us here on 7 News, we're in continuous coverage of a shooting that occurred here in Cambridge. Our Steve Cooper's on the phone. Coop, bring us up to speed. What do you know at this hour?
Right. So again, this all unfolding, I believe, shortly for 1:30 this afternoon. The initial report that came in was for the possibility, or reports were coming in of an active shooter, and state police handle Memorial Drive. And they responded quickly to the scene. Cambridge police, obviously, there as well. And we do know that, according to sources, there was a shooting. 2 people shot. We don't know their conditions. We were being told that there were transports to area hospitals from not just victims, but other people that witnessed what happened. And now detectives and police are on the scene looking for information from eyewitnesses. It's a busy area, broad daylight, middle of the afternoon on a Monday, and they want to speak to all of those people to see what they saw. And I was also being told that some of those witnesses actually were able to record cell phone video as well, watching all this unfold. And, when these things happen in such a public area like Memorial Drive, you're obviously going to get a lot of versions, a lot of angles, and a lot of people describing what they saw. But just to be clear, that whole area around that shooting scene is now a crime scene, and so now things will slow down a little bit so they can collect the evidence and piece together how all this happened to begin with.
And Coop, Sky 7 just showed us moments ago here just a huge contingent of investigators there. State police investigators, maybe Cambridge as well. I'm not sure, but it was just a massive amount of them. It looks like a large crime scene. Is that why there's probably so many of them out there at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that area of Memorial Drive is down by River Street. We know that they were shutting down, sort of setting up a perimeter, if you will, around that area because they're going to sort of want to backtrack to determine where whoever was involved in this, where they came from. Is there a vehicle involved? Is there a residence involved? What brought that person to that area? And one of the things that they don't want to, because there's perhaps shell casings in the area and there may be more that they don't know about, they just want to lock that area down. That's why one of the things they're doing is they're trying to shut the roads down and ask people to avoid that area because it is a crime scene.
And we're zoomed in right now to, it looks like some of the state police here, some local investigators here kind of huddled up, Coop, as they begin to go about that canvassing. They're probably going to be talking to individuals here. We've also seen multiple evidence markers. I'm not sure if they're bullet casings or what they are, but they are all over the place and in different areas as well. So I'm not sure if this is a rolling situation that happened as they were driving, but it just looks like this is just a massive crime scene.
Right, and I think that's one of the things, especially in an instance like this where you have state police, just to be clear about the jurisdictional areas, state police handle Memorial Drive. I believe they handle, if I'm not mistaken, I believe they handle Storer Drive as well. But then from that, you have the local agencies, so Cambridge Police, obviously, because this is right near MIT, right near Harvard Square. So you do have Cambridge Police, and obviously, at this time of the day, you're going to get a massive response. And then on top of that, you're talking about detectives who are assigned to the Middlesex County District Attorney's Office. So you start widening out the scope of those investigators. And when something like this happens, the focus is they want to get to the witnesses as soon as possible because they're the fresh eyes and ears of what they saw. So that's who they want to talk to pretty quickly and lock those people down and sort of get them away from the scene and really try to get their version because it's so fresh in their mind of what they just saw, what they just witnessed, what they heard, and also, in some cases, according to our sources, what they may have actually videotaped on their cell phones.
Great point there. And, as we look at these pictures here, we want to point out that it may look like something big is going on, but it appears that, Coop, this has already happened. There's no ongoing threat at this point, right? We want to really kind of hit that home to people.
Yeah, right. And just to be clear, and again, that's not right. So that's not what we're seeing right now in terms of their investigation to figure out who is involved. By what we're seeing, the fact that it doesn't appear to be any sort of a manhunt going on, it would suggest that the person, the focus of this, that person is in custody, has been injured. We don't know exactly what the story is, but clearly there isn't any sort of a massive manhunt going on. But the difference between that and sealing down a crime scene is that time is on their side. If that is the case, if the people or the person that started this, the focus of this investigation, if that person has been identified and is in police custody in one form or another, then time is on the side of these investigators right now. But of course, it's up against, as you mentioned, Brian, we're coming into the afternoon commute, and we all know that Storrow Drive and Memorial Drive are super busy this time of year, and then you certainly talk about that side of the river in Cambridge, and you can imagine school is still in session for people, and so you have a lot going on right now.
Based on your experience covering something like this, it is a large crime scene. What are the first steps here? What are investigators trying to do at this point? Obviously, they've roped things off with crime scene tape. They've taken care of the injured people. What are they trying to do at this point?
Right. So just to be clear, we're on Memorial Drive, right by the scene, and there are just an enormous police presence here, and it's now the traffic is bottled up. What we can see from our vantage point, and I actually can't even count the number of police cruisers that are here, but I do see all that yellow tape that you're talking about that's wrapped around the scene. And just to be clear, one of the issues is everyone that's in the crime scene, and there are a lot of vehicles that are in the crime scene right now, they're not going to be moving. Okay, so now that whole area is bottled up right now. And then the other thing is that the crime scene itself, if in fact the suspect or the person that was the cause of this, if that person has been identified at this point, the crime scene is now basically frozen, if you will. And as I look over and see some of the detectives working right now, they can look at things, but they might be waiting for search warrants. Time is on their side to process this scene if everyone involved in this incident is accounted for right now.
All right, Coop, we're going to let you get kind of parked there, kind of get settled so we can get you on camera as soon as possible and get some more information from your sources as you collect that. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate that. Once again, you're looking live here at Memorial Drive in Cambridge. According to 7 News sources, 2 people have been shot in this brazen daytime shooting here that happened around 1:30 this afternoon in Cambridge near River Street. The city of Cambridge put in an alert saying there were reports of shots fired, calls to 911 saying this happened around 1:30 near Memorial Drive and this intersection of River Street. And you can see here, this seems to be the main part of the crime scene. These vehicles have been taped off by crime scene tape. There's other crime scenes as well. There's other areas that were involved as well that have evidence markers all over the place. Not sure if those are bullet casings, but they are connected to this. They're somehow collected evidence from that. Our Steve Cooper was telling us that it doesn't appear they're looking for a suspect because there's no active manhunt at this point. However, it's still early on here. We're trying to figure out exactly what happened during the middle of the day. You can imagine what this was like for people just driving next to this there. All those vehicles are now caught in this crime scene, as Coop was talking about there. They're going to be there for a while. This area is going to be shut down for a while as they try to investigate this. So avoid this area, the entire area in Cambridge here. Memorial Drive is going to be shut down here. It is a massive crime scene. It is a massive police response. As Coop was talking about, this is the jurisdiction of the state police, but they're also probably going to be involving other jurisdictions as well. MIT is nearby. Cambridge Police, obviously, will be involved in this investigation. And then they're going to be looking for exactly what happened. We don't know the conditions of those two people who were shot. That's still an ongoing situation. We're trying to gather more information on that. We have multiple crews as well headed out here. Our Steve Cooper was just parking his vehicle there, trying to get as close as he could to the scene, but he can't get very close because of everything being shut down right now. So he's trying to get there to go on camera with us to give us more information. He's talking to his sources about exactly what may have happened out here earlier this afternoon. Once again, live pictures here from Sky 7 HD showing just the size of this crime scene. That's what I was trying to say here. The massive size of this, because it is so big. It's both lanes here. Memorial Drive shut down, obviously. Multiple investigators out here, different jurisdictions. They're meeting right there, huddled up here, as they begin to figure out exactly what's going to happen on there. I understand we do have some people who witnessed this happen. I want to toss to that right now.
I saw people running across the bridge. I saw the police finally came, but they stopped somebody over here in the car, and I overheard someone saying that someone was firing guns from that car that the police ran into. It's crazy, you know. Anytime anyone, even here, when something like this happens, it's pretty incredible.
We missed the first part of her interview there, but you got the gist of what this was like. She was out there. She witnessed this. She said that she saw people firing from the cars here with a gun, and the police were involved. We heard the tail end of that, but you can imagine how terrifying it was for her, for other people who may have witnessed it out there. Our Steve Cooper talked about the fact that there probably were a lot of witnesses out there. There's surveillance video, so there's a lot to gather here as they try to figure out exactly what is next in this investigation, how this happened, where these people came from, how they ended up in gunfire here in the middle of the day, in broad daylight. Pretty much a shootout happening here on Memorial Drive, which is terrifying for everyone who was nearby. You can see here the ambulance is still there on scene. This gas station is obviously shut down because all the vehicles are there. You got a Shell gas station, the mobile gas station right there, and then the other big crime scene is up to the right there. It appears there's multiple scenes within this scene, if that makes sense to everyone out there who's watching this. If you're familiar with the area, it's Memorial Drive here, River Street right there. This is the intersection that is shut down right now. We have multiple crews there on the scene trying to gather new information, figure out exactly what we do know. And our 7 news sources are telling our Steve Cooper that 2 people were shot. We know that much at this point. He also said more people may be injured. You can see here, state police are putting up more crime scene tape. So this is going to be probably a long affair out here as they try to assess exactly what happened. Back to the injuries. Most likely other people were hurt, maybe not shot, but we're not sure if there was actual crashes involved as well. If people are shooting and people are stopping fast, were people rear-ended, were there accidents, we're not sure. But you can imagine they're trying to figure out exactly what occurred here, who was hurt, and then what sparked this brazen shooting in the middle of the day. And Sky 7 showing you just the intersection here and the massive crime scene that's going on right now. And the city of Cambridge really getting in touch with the residents out there, putting out this alert to everyone who lives in Cambridge, saying, avoid the area, but there's no ongoing danger. It's an active scene, as you can see here. We can see that from Sky 7 HD. Active scene, not an ongoing threat. I think that's important to point out. We come on TV, we show you these pictures. It looks terrifying. It was scary, but it appears to be over. And now they're trying to figure out how it happened, why it happened. Some of those questions are being answered. This is the parking lot, I believe, either the hotel or the apartment complex right there, right outside of where this happened. Sky 7 doing a great job here, showing you the different parts of this crime scene, the different areas that they're investigating. It is large, and see some of the vehicles that are caught in this crime scene. They're going to be there for a while. You can imagine those people will be interviewed. There's work trucks, regular people, vehicles right there. And here's this large crime scene as well with the investigators as they meet to discuss what they know, what they don't know, and what their focus is as they begin to work on that. I want to go back, if we could, to that witness that we interviewed. If you could play that sound again in full, please, just for our viewers to hear a little bit about what they saw, what they did, and how that worked. Let's listen in.
I saw people running across the bridge. I saw the police finally came, but they stopped somebody over here in the car, and I overheard someone saying that someone was firing guns from that car that the police ran into. It's crazy, anytime anyone, even here, when something like this happens, it's pretty incredible.
Once again, that's a witness that was right there when this all happened and played out. You can see here, this appears to be the main scene of what happened, those vehicles involved. There's a school bus van. We're not sure that relationship to this crime scene. It's on the outside of the crime scene tape, but obviously we're keeping a close eye on that. No word of any schools involved at this point, but you can see that with your eyes there. It's a school bus. working to figure out why that isn't there and why that was involved. Our Steve Cooper is reporting that there are 2 people that have been shot. That's according to his sources. He's in constant contact with his sources there in law enforcement as he works to figure out what may have transpired out here. And right now they're kind of holding the scene. They're talking to witnesses, and the intense work is going to begin very soon here as they go to these businesses, pull their surveillance video, and obviously these witnesses most likely, took out their phones and recorded what happened as well. So there may be some really crucial evidence on witnesses' cell phones that they're going to be looking at here. You can see here, this is a secondary crime scene tape here, kind of blocking that area off. So there's multiple layers within this crime scene of what happened and what they're trying to do, and they shut down much of the area here, as you can see. As Steve Cooper was talking about, he couldn't count the number of law enforcement vehicles there that really showed up here to respond to this. And when it happens at 1:30 in the middle of the day, you're going to get a massive response, and that's exactly what's happened here. A terrifying scene playing out here around 1:30. Reports of shots fired. Our 7 News sources now confirming that 2 people were shot. Don't know their conditions. We do know they were taken to the hospital. There may be other people injured. We're trying to gather that information at this point. And you can see here, I believe that's the hotel there, and that's the high-rise apartment complex nearby. So it's a very active area. A lot of people coming and going from this area. Obviously, people driving nonstop in this area. This is a thoroughfare. People are going every day, all day long right here. And now it's been kind of shut down, this whole section. So Sky 7 showing right here, a massive section of Cambridge here on Memorial Drive is shut down. Crime scene tape is just all you see there, yellow tape roped off around this entire area. And the city of Cambridge, keeping in touch with the residents, saying that the area is shut down. There is no ongoing danger, but there's an active scene, and they're going to try to figure out exactly what happened here. Multiple investigators on scene trying to figure out what may have happened here. They're huddled up there. They're going to probably be fanning out here and going to those businesses. We've known in covering other shootings like this, it begins with this. It begins with meeting with these detectives, and then they fan out and they start talking to the witnesses there. They start looking, go to these businesses here. They'll go try pulling surveillance video and then trying to figure out why this occurred at this point on Memorial Drive at this intersection. And then we'll try to figure out what time this happened at, where it maybe originated, and how it came to an end here. As we look at all the sources coming in here to the 7 Newsroom, where I'm seeing some of the cameras pop up around the area here as our reporters arrive there on scene as they try to assess what they have. And we had that one witness we had, and our Steve Cooper, I'm seeing some shots here of him approaching the area here. He's going to be joining us momentarily. Our Jonathan Hall is also out there. He's going to be joining us as well as they try to figure out what happened. Once again, 7 News sources saying 2 people shot along Memorial Drive in Cambridge. And our Steve Cooper says it doesn't appear they're looking for the other suspects. So it appears no one's running around. This is not an ongoing threat, but it is a massive crime scene as they try to figure out what may have occurred out here. And many witnesses, they have many people to talk to, and that's why they give a large amount of investigators out here as they look at this crime scene, as they look at what transpired, where the first shot came from, and then how this happened and where people ran after. And you can imagine being in one of those cars and you look over and you see someone shooting. It takes your breath away and you don't know what to do next. And obviously all those vehicles stopped right there, and then the first responders showed up. So we're trying to figure that out and trying to go and we're going to go right now to our Steve Cooper. He's there now. Cooper, you're on the phone. You made it there. You saw the police departments arrive there. Talk about what do you see right there.
Okay, so just to be clear, you can see this is live images now from the area of Memorial Drive. This is right by River Street, the Mobil gas station, the Shell gas station, a very familiar location here. And you can just see the number of state police here on the scene. They are the lead agency because they cover this stretch of Memorial Drive, and Cambridge police are here as well. Joe, pan the camera off for just a second to the left side because I want you to see the ambulance crews are still here as well. You can see the police, they're in tactical gear from the state police, so we don't know what the exact call-out was here. But just to be clear, we do know, according to our sources, that there was a shooting here. 2 people were shot. We don't know if that includes the suspect, who the people are as well. But right now, they have this whole area locked down. And just to be clear, I want to tell you some information that I'm getting from Cambridge Police. They're telling me that at approximately 1:30 this afternoon, Cambridge Emergency Communications received 911 calls reporting gunshots on Memorial Drive near the intersection of River Street, and that's exactly where we are standing right now. They say this is an active scene. However, and just to be clear, I want to emphasize this, there is no ongoing danger to the public. They tell us that police are on scene along with the state police. They're asking residents to avoid this area, and they also say that at this point there is no ongoing threat to the public at this time. They say state police are the lead agency on this incident, and again, they're asking people to sort of stay away from this area as they process what's now a crime scene here.
Pictures there from Sky 7 as well as the ground cameras that are out there, and it appears some of the vehicles are up on the sidewalk, and it just seems like a big mess here. What happened here? Our witnesses reporting saying that there were firing from the car. I mean, walk us through what this was like in the middle of the day, Coop, a brazen daylight shooting on Memorial Drive.
Right. So, and as you had mentioned earlier, Ryan, I mean, this is an incredibly busy area. It's a nice day out, and this is the sort of the time of day when people go out for a run. We actually just saw crew members out in the middle of the Charles River here as well. And at this hour, we can tell you that right now they just have this whole area locked down. Police sort of trying to keep people away. Joe, come on over here because I want to see who they're talking to here. But at this hour, you can see that people have actually come out here, and they're now trying to process what's happened here at the scene. This seems to be someone who's a witness of what
I think
happened.
he throws the gun. Not I think. I know he throws the gun. So once he throws the gun, my boy is just out here just laying down, and now he got his hands up. Now he's done. He gives
so
up.
you're saying he was walking up and down the street, re-racking and shooting at passing cars.
He was exactly. He was walking out. He probably could have. He probably was trying to go this way, but I'm thinking he probably tried to stop traffic to a certain point because it was a good amount. It was a good amount of people. So he tried to stop the traffic at a certain amount, and he thought it was a perfect time to just start letting it go. It was at least 30 shots. I'm talking about 30, maybe in between those 30 shots, he's letting out 5, 6 every time. At a time, exactly.
What do you think was going on? Like, could you hear anything he was saying?
I heard yelling, but I couldn't put the words together. He was mad. He was frustrated. I can tell you that. He was mad. He was frustrated.
He had a rifle? He had a rifle.
What'd the gun look like?
I'll tell you right now. Let me see.
And it was enough that you called 911.
Yes.
Can you just, while you're looking up what that was, can you just back up, and you were standing here, can you just back up and tell us, we're live on Channel 7, what you saw?
Again?
Yeah.
So, I'm seeing him walking this way first. With the gun in his hand, right? While he's walking, he takes, because he first took 5 shots first. Then once he takes those 5 shots, then that's when he turns around. He goes the other way. Now he's trying to fix the gun, or like he jam or something. He's trying to hit it. Then he's right next to the car, next to that yellow truck thingy. It's like a van, next to a yellow van. While he's next to the yellow van, there's a black car next to him. He's hitting it with the gun. He's hitting it. He's yelling. I can't put the words together, but he's hitting it. He didn't shoot it. He didn't shoot it up. I didn't see him shoot it up. But then he starts walking that direction again. Now, there's another truck coming the same direction. He shuts up the truck at least once or twice. Once he does that, the truck just keeps going. Then he keeps going. He's walking this way. He's walking like he don't give a fuck. He's walking comfortably.
Right, we're live on the air, so if you just
What's going through your mind when you're seeing this happen? You're hearing the
This
shots.
is like, I thought this was like a video game. I thought it was like, you know how in GTA you're bored of playing it so much, you just start shooting anything. Like you just start shooting, you start getting cars, you start, doing whatever. He felt free. Like he didn't give a fuck. Sorry. He didn't care.
And can you just describe, you just looked at your phone, what kind of weapon did he have? We had heard it was a rifle or something like that?
It looked like it was, I think.
Okay, we apologize for the language that this guy is obviously shocked at what he witnessed. We apologize for that. Want to talk a little bit about what he was describing, though. We have more of what was going on here. That witness right there was talking about the fact that someone was out there walking around, shooting people in vehicles, then the gun wasn't working. He started walking again, shot again. So that was shocking to see. Obviously, for that witness, he witnessed that. He's looking at live pictures here of, I believe this is another vehicle, a postal truck. I'm being told by my producer here. This is a postal truck that has bullet holes in the windshield. So as we zoom out, you can see a little bit of that. Terrifying that this postal truck was hit in this gunfire here. That's really something. Again, this postal shot as well. There might be other vehicles hit as well. You saw there, it is a massive crime scene still. And if you had someone walking down just firing, according to that witness, that's terrifying, and terrifying people driving by. Vehicles were hit by that, which explains why this is such a massive crime scene. This is a brazen daylight shooting with someone just walking and shooting at different vehicles. As we zoom in again, you can see at least one bullet hole here, right in the windshield of this postal vehicle here. I'm not sure. Is this in Cambridge or Boston, guys? Is this, is this in... We're not sure where that is at this point, but we have multiple crews. Sorry, I wanted to ask where they were because we have multiple crews at different locations here. Our Jonathan Hall is on the Boston side where all the bridges there are closed. No one can go over this area right here. And this vehicle here, you can see up on, I don't know if it's a rock or what happened here. Some kind of crash ended after the shots rang out. I want to go back to the beginning. What we do know here, our 7 news sources telling us that 2 people were shot